When I was younger, my friends and I would play basketball. And we play always a game. It's either 5v5 or 4v4. And we would play. And I remember I was not bad at scoring. I could go up to the basket. I could score a layup. That wasn't any problem. But I did have trouble shooting from distance. I couldn't shoot from very far. But my friend could. He could shoot very far away from the basket and still make it. But the thing is, there were games where I would score more than he did. I would go up to the basket, go all the way forward, and throw up a layup, and I would make it. But he would score maybe one or two long shots. And even though I may have scored 5 close shots and scored more points than he did, he would score like 2 or 3 long shots, and he would get all the attention. Everybody would just jump on him. They would say, "That shot's so good." And I remember I would always feel a twinge of jealousy. And when people would ask me, "What'd you think?" I would be like, that was a cool shot, but like it would probably be better to just score more like I am. Like it's better to just score. Like he only scores 2. You know what I mean? And I would say those kind of things. And then one day, one of my other friends told me, "All right, so then why don't you shoot from there? If you think it's just better to just score up front, at least show us that you can do it. Show us that you can do what he does anyway." And so they gave me the ball. I grabbed it, and I tried shooting from far. I shot it, and I airballed it. If you don't know what airball is, it's basically not even hitting the rim of the basket. I completely missed the basket. I was so bad at long shots. And I was completely embarrassed. And from that point, I learned an important lesson that I took into my life. And it's that saying you don't care is a cope. It's a cope to not trying harder. It's a cope to failing. You don't want to fail, and so you say, "Oh, I don't care." If you were like me, you would have said, "Oh, it doesn't really matter that he can score a long shot. I mean, like, I score more anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't faze me. I can score more." And it's like in your mind, you're trying to pretend and trick yourself and believe, "Oh, I don't really care about that." And you're trying to trick other people, yeah, I don't really care about that. When in reality, you do care about it. I could feel that twinge of jealousy when he shot that shot. I could feel that twinge of jealousy when people would surround him with attention. But I used the cope of, "Oh, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter as long as I score more," to protect myself. I couldn't even shoot from that far. I used that cope so that I didn't have to shoot from that far. I used that cope so I didn't have to shoot from that distance. And I would just stay comfortable near the basket and score, close shots and think that I was pretty cool. It was a cope to not push myself to shoot farther. Growing up, I wasn't very confident or popular or athletic. And so it would reaffirm that, I'm not good at that type of stuff. I'm not good at scoring from far. I'm not even gonna try. And that developed into a cope of, I don't really care if people shoot like that. I don't really care if I could do that. It doesn't really matter to me. And I developed this "it doesn't matter to me" mentality. But inside, I would care. And it would eat away at my self-respect. It would eat away because I wanted to shoot from that far, but I couldn't. And so I stayed safe. But how could I have confidence when I'm doing stuff like that? I didn't. And I did this with looks and charms as well. I said, you know what, I don't look that good, so I'm not even going to try to look that good. I'm not even going to try to improve my style or the way that my face or my hair looks. I'm not going to try it with any of that stuff because, it's too shallow. It doesn't matter, right? And I would use the cope of, it's too shallow. I don't really care. I'm higher than that. I would use that cope so that I wouldn't try to improve my looks and actually care about my appearance. I would use the cope of saying, it doesn't matter to be charismatic. Who cares about that? It's all about the work that needs to get done. Like, who cares about people who are charismatic? And I would say that to myself, and I would say that to the people around me, but it was really a cope because I didn't want to go out and speak to people. I didn't want to go out and actually push myself to speak to people. I didn't want to push myself. I didn't want to push myself to say hi to the random person that walked by me. I didn't want to push myself. And so I'd say, it doesn't really matter. It's just like how smart you are, that's all that matters in life. And I would work myself out of these things. I wouldn't even improve at all on my looks or my charisma for a very long time. And I think this is just my take, but I think a lot of people do this with money and status. They think, oh, all those people who have money, who did well financially, they had to game the system. They had to. And you know, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I don't think that you should think that way. I don't think that you should use that as a cope to not try. I don't think that you should use that as a cope to not try to be successful in any realm of life. It's not good to just say, "Oh yeah, they were born with talents, and that's why they're good at basketball. That's why they're athletic." Don't do that to yourself, because it will eat away inside. I know it feels good in the moment. I know it feels like a cope, like, oh, I don't have to try. Oh, thankfully, I don't have to try. I don't have to actually push myself. I don't actually have to see if I'm good enough. I can just sit here and say, oh, it's shallow, or oh, they got talented, or oh, they gamed the system. They got lucky. I could sit here and say that, and it's much more comfortable to me. But is that really the person that you want to be? Do you really want to be the person that says, oh, it doesn't matter, when inside, really deep inside you, it does matter to you? You do care, and you're just pretending it doesn't. Do you want to be that person? So this is my challenge to you. This is really my challenge, and I want you to be better than I was. I want you to be better than me. I want you to actually go for it and look at obstacles and challenges and say, yeah, I care about those things in my life. I care about the things that I'm not good at. Even though I'm not good at, I still care about it. I'm gonna let the sadness go into me. I'm not gonna put on this shell of saying it doesn't matter so that I never improve. I'm gonna be okay with the mistakes. I'm gonna be okay with failure. I'm gonna be okay with trying and actually work and push myself. I'm gonna work on that shot until I make it. And you gotta do that to yourself. You have to continuously keep pushing yourself to be better. Don't sit there and settle and say, yo, that's not for me. I wasn't born with it. You know, I don't know. I can't really do stuff like that. I'm too old for it. I'm too young for that. Don't use these excuses as a cope to not try. Don't shelter yourself from failure. Fail and grow and improve. And that is where you will find the beauty and the sublimity of life. I don't know if that's a word, but like the sublimeness, the sublime part of life. It's so beautiful, and it's something that I really think that you should aspire to. When I started working on myself, when I started having obstacles and challenges in my life, it was a time period where I actually finally found myself, and I was proud of myself, and I was grateful that I was living again. If you think that an area that you need to improve on is your looks, one of the best ways that I would recommend that you do that is to start by building a body that you're proud of. A physique that you can look in the mirror and actually really think, yeah, I did that. That was all me. That was not somebody else. That was not my genetics. That was me. I put in the work and I got those results. If you want to have that kind of confidence and actually find that other people are attracted to you as well, check out the link below and I'll help you from there. With that, I hope that you got something from this video. Go out and conquer.